All right, and welcome everyone to the Osu Taiko World Cup 2022. We're in the round of 32. In the winner's bracket, this is going to be United States versus Costa Rica. I am Ethan, and I'm joined by Inwolf.
Hello.
So the rolls already happened. Costa Rica wins the roll with 84, and the United States rolled 37. And I don't know if this is the first or it's the second time Costa Rica's played in TWC, but I don't think I saw them last year, so this might be their first time playing.
They did play last year.
Oh, alright.
I think a similar roster. If not even the same. No, it was the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably gonna be the same, because they only have like 2 active players, I think, and then like 1 or 2 semi-active players.
Yeah, that's accurate. Like, we have Pui, who's by far the highest ranked player in their team. And then Hotman, and like rank 800.
Yeah,
so it's mostly a thing of, can the second player keep up?
Yeah, I think Hotman's kind of an all-rounder. I don't know what their skill set exactly is, but they've played in a couple of community tournaments, and they seem to just be pretty alright at everything. And so since it's a round of 32 pool, they might be able to fare a bit better on this than the qualifiers pool. So potentially Costa Rica could maybe snag a point for the United States, but it is going to be a very difficult matchup. The US, one, has a full roster, and second, the US is a really strong team this year from the looks of it.
Yeah, lots of familiar players also returned from last year.
Yeah, and Miniature Lamp playing for the US for the first time. And it's really cool to see him rise up in the ranks and stuff, because they only started playing around like 2 years ago, I want to say. And now they're playing in Taiko World Cup for the United States, so they have had a very meteoric rise.
We'll be excited to see them in the match. Perhaps on FM3, our first map. The anti-mod ish.
Yeah, I'm slightly surprised they picked this, but I've seen a lot of lower seed teams actually pick this, which is kind of surprising that the anti-mod is the map that a lot of lower seed teams are going to go with.
Yeah, but it almost, in some cases, actually got very close to working out in their favor, because it can happen to any player on this map specifically that you can just misread the SV heavy sections where the slider velocity changes a lot, and they will probably bank on that. What I'm curious about though is if Costa Rica is actually going to use more than one mod, because in their qualifiers on free mod, only Pui used the mod, and it was a single mod. It was, I think, only Hard Rock.
Yeah, they might go for 2 mod, maybe just like one player each has a mod. I could see that maybe, as it is a lower SR pool, so maybe one of them will be able to put on like HR hidden.
Yeah, they definitely require something like that, just to have a chance against the US, which is very likely to have a triple mod going on.
Yeah, Chisalad is likely going to be on Hidden Hard Rock, and Shroshep, I'm going to assume, will be on the HR, is my guess for the US's mod picks.
You'll see in a second, but I think both are fair guesses.
One thing that would be interesting is maybe Pui going with Hidden Hard Rock, and then the other player goes single mod. Although, as the mods get pulled up, it is actually going to be not the case. That is not going to be the case, as Hotman is going to be playing with no mod, and yeah, Pui's going to be playing with HR. That is a pretty big mod disadvantage for Costa Rica.
A very daring pick now.
Yeah, and it was also their pick as well. This is interesting to see. I'm kind of curious to see how this will go. I was correct on the US players' mod picks.
So you can at least see the bottom half is evenly matched, but in the top half, despite Cheese Salad already being down 1 point in accuracy, their score is much larger than Hotman's.
Yeah, Costa Rica is really going to need Cheese Salad to miss for a chance of getting a point on this map. Although Hotman and Pui both have really good accuracy, so does Churro Chef. The only player has act dropped is Cheese Salad so far.
But it needs to drop way more for Costa Rica to be able to take this home.
I guess we're just gonna see how the second half plays. That's when the speed up kicks in. That'll be when things start getting interesting. Churchup's gonna break their SS, but they didn't really act drop too much. It's just 1-100. Now getting into the speed up, Chisal gonna drop P100s. Both players on the side of Costa Rica still holding on the SS, but that mod advantage is just so strong. Costa Rica needs the United States to miss.
Yeah. The United States are just not dropping enough 100s for the lead not to grow.
Both players on the side of Costa Rica are going to drop their SS, but they're still holding on really strong accuracy. It's just kind of unfortunate to see, as it's just the mod advantage is just too strong. It's really hard for them to do anything, even with these scores being pretty good. Yeah, getting into the map. United States are going to take the first point, and it's going to be a break point. Really solid accuracy from everyone around. The fact that the lowest accuracy was 9.05, that is, yeah. Everyone played really well. It's just the mod advantage simply was just too strong, unfortunately. So that's just going to be a break point for the US. And now the United States is the next pick.
I wonder if they're just going to continue with free mode now they have this knowledge. Because the other two free mode maps are easier than this one. And if they feel comfortable with them, I would just assume they can go with free mode 1 and 2. But instead we're going with Pharaoh, the hardest map in the pool.
Yeah, instantly going in with no mod 4. Interesting pick, but kind of to be expected almost, as this is a map that'll definitely, a lot of players, if they struggle with the skill cap on the qualifiers pool, this is going to be a map that challenges them a lot. And RJ is going to be coming in for the United States. Costa Rica might have a player swap. Which would be interesting on this map, as their main two players are Hotman and Pui. And I'd expect their third player to only really be in for some more gimmicky, lower SR maps.
Unless they went into a boot camp and only practiced Pharaoh 24/7.
Yes.
As it tends to happen with more gimmicky maps than Pharaoh. Some teams did use strats like this, where that last player on the team, you practice the gimmick, you practice nothing but the gimmick, and then we destroy the opponent, at least on this one map. And it worked out quite a number of times in the past.
It sometimes works and sometimes pays off. And also with the team sizes being 6 this year instead of 5, it does allow teams to be able to have that a lot more, or the ability to be able to just have a player that can just be dedicated towards practicing 1 or 2 maps. There's definitely a higher chance of that with these team sizes this year.
Indeed. But
although Costa Rica is a 3-player roster.
Yeah. And it looks like they're trying to get Hotman back in.
Yeah, it looks like Hotman might have had to restart their game. Right, Hotman's back in the lobby. Should be starting in just a moment.
Like a few of the more recent matches we've had, this is another really uphill battle between United States at seed number 5 and Costa Rica at 28.
Yeah, the US got really strong seeding this year. I wasn't really expecting them to get 5th seed. I was expecting them to get more of 8th to 9th seed, but they really showed a strong performance in the qualifiers.
Especially on some interesting maps. Like, they didn't really do well on No Mod 1, but on the modded maps, they were quite high up there.
Yeah, and starting out into the United States' first pick, No Mod 4. Hotman picking up a few early 100s, although in a second... Oh, I was just about to say some players are probably going to start struggling in just a second, and Troshev's going to be the first person to actually miss. Did not act drop at all, though, so everything's going to remain quite even for now.
And the drop being so early on the map means it matters less.
Yeah, Hotman does end up trading that miss from Troshev. I missed a little bit more than Troshev, so now the US back with a pretty decent lead, although it can definitely flip over at any second. RJ and Pui are playing really well, though. Both players at nearly 9.9. Let's just say, I think Pui did drop 100.
But if they can keep this up, we've seen in the last match between Canada and Netherlands, where the Netherlands nearly took the point back near the end because of the gimmicky section. Canada just fell apart.
Yeah, Hotman with another miss. It's going to extend the US's lead just a little bit more. Yeah, I think it might have to come down to that last section if Costa Rica can manage a combo it. Hotman is really struggling on this part, though. The slower SV, on the slow SV section. These misses are starting to pile up. The score lead is getting to a point where it's going to be quite tough for Costa Rica to come back into this map.
They're also dropping a couple of 100s, which is making the gap even larger by just the misses alone.
Yeah, Pui's holding up quite well, but Hotman seems to be struggling a little bit too much on this map for a comeback to really happen unless something huge happens on the side of the US and just both players just note lock and die completely on the last section. Pui is gonna drop the full combo though. Yeah, as the score extends even further, I think it's not really... I don't think the Costa Rica can really do much here.
Yeah, and it don't look like the US is planning on dropping any more combos with RJ and Churchev holding on really tightly to that combo. And the accuracy.
Yeah, the US is going to take the second point. That was their pick, and Pui had a pretty strong performance there up till the very end, dropping the full combo. And also RJ with the full combo, 4 100s. Both players on the side of the US with really strong accuracy.
I'm interested to see now how Costa Rica responds, because I don't think 3 mod is the way. The mod advantage alone is just too much. I think it would be safe-ish to just go with something like No Mod 1 or Hidden 1, sure.
Yep, that is another option.
Not too hard to read, it's more about the execution, especially in the Ki section at the end.
Yeah, the OD is a bit lower at OD5, so it's a little bit more forgiving on accuracy. Aurora is going to be coming in for this map for the United States. Alright, starting up the map in just a moment. Costa Rica's second pick in this match. I think they have a better chance on this map than on Fremont 3. But I guess we'll just have to see how this map plays out. One of the shorter maps of the pool at 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Might even be the shortest.
Yeah, actually, this might be the shortest map of the pool, but I can't really recall the map lengths off the top of my head.
I think it's the only one under 2 minutes. Remember something like that.
There's quite a bit of maps that are like on like the cusp of being under 2 minutes, but yeah, this might be the only one that actually goes under 2 minutes. Yep, starting up with this map, Cheese Salad gonna be the first to drop a 100. Oh, Aurora with a drop. Okay. This is pretty huge for Costa Rica. Have gonna be dropping the SS. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of 100s. Hot man.
Oh my gosh. No!
Why are they spamming? Why were they spamming that?
Not like
Why were they mashing They were mashing the keyboard in the like slow section and it caused the miss. Okay, the lead's gonna go back over to the United States. Oh my gosh. It's still pretty close though, but let's just see how it goes in the second half.
There was a lot of accuracy dropped in that calm section.
It's pretty close, but Have with another miss, and I think that might have costed Costa Rica the point.
Yeah, this is
unless both players. Yeah, both players in the US have to miss at the last second for any possible chance, but even then the combo scoring is just going to kick in, and it's too late, I think. As the map wraps up, it looks like the United States are going to take their second break point. That was so unfortunate. It looked like it could have happened, and Costa Rica could have gotten that point. Those misses,
Cheese Salad pretty tight with their score. That midsection hurt.
That, I think Hotman was like frustrated with like getting a couple of hundreds and they was spamming their keyboard and then they ended up missing because of it. I don't, they were like spamming their keyboard that slow section, that's all I know. I don't know why they did it. That's just my only theory. But I think it ended up potentially costing him the point. And US is instantly going to go in for HR2.
The more difficult Hard Rock map, continuing the trend of picking the harder maps of the pool. This is very fast and has a lot of 1/3 streams, a concept which Hard Rock players definitely love in their Hard Rock maps. Plus, it changes BPM towards the end and gets faster, up to 216.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good Costa Rica is at HR. I know Pui was playing HR in the free mod, and they're doing quite well, but Huntman opted for no mod, so they might not be too much of an HR player.
We'll find out.
And Aurora and Churro, that's a scary duo to play on an HR pick.
This time we're not playing a Mania tiebreaker. Thank you, map card.
A mini tiebreaker length map for HR sounds so hard. Well, I don't know if that was a client miss, but Churro Chef might have missed it at the very start. Hotman, though, looks like they actually did miss at the very beginning. Aurora picking up some early 100s. Oh, it looked like that was client. Okay.
There were a couple of 100s, though.
Yeah, Hotman is really struggling with this SV from the looks of things. They're keeping up a little bit for now. Although Aurora had an act drop that they did not catch. That is going to keep things kind of close, despite the miss.
There were a couple of streams back-to-back that were a bit mistimed.
Oh, another miss from Hotman, though. Another one, and Aurora is now starting to gain accuracy.
Yeah, it's really important to note how difficult to read this is for a run of 32 map, considering they're generally slower and don't have 1/3 streams in them.
Yeah, getting into 1/3 section, I'm picking up another miss. Yeah, this map is very brutal. It has some pretty fast sections. On top of that, it has some 1/3 streams in the middle as well. Quite technical and hard to hit with good accuracy.
And here's the speed up. Hotman finding another drop in this fast section. Chirochev though, with 2 100s.
Yeah, oh, that is, yeah, what a score from Chirochev. And Fui as well, 11 100s. That's a pretty solid score.
And we're already at match point with Costa Rica picking the potentially final map of this match.
And they're going free mod too. Okay, they really want to pick free mod. They did pretty good score-wise on free mod 3. It's just the mod advantage, I think, just might be a bit too much for them to get a point, unless the US just happens to drop a lot, which I think is what they're banking on, but the US have been fairly consistent so far.
It's definitely... Not only does the United States have to drop once or twice, they have to tank quite a bit, especially on the hidden hard rock end. Because of just how massive the score advantage is. Like, you get around 120,000 points just for having hidden hard rock.
Yeah, it is quite an uphill battle, although I guess we'll just have to see the mod combos, and yeah, it looks like the US will be going with all mod. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Have going with hidden hard rock and Fui going with HR. I was not expecting. Okay, both teams with all mods possible.
Now I'm interested.
This map is a little bit easier than Fremont 3. I guess it isn't impossible, but yeah, that is. I was really not expecting that. Okay. I'm gonna give you the first drops of 100s. Aurora follows a little bit after, although it's only 1/100 from Aurora. Fui and Churro both on HR, still holding the SS so far. Dropping a little bit more accuracy, still above 90 for now, although they just dropped under it just for a second. They're still holding on that full combo though, which is what's important. It's definitely possible for Costa Rica to take a point on this map. Pui is the only SS now. I didn't even realize, but Pui is the only SS actually so far. Oh my gosh! Well, that was a huge act drop for Aurora. Things are actually flipping in favor of Costa Rica on the break. Oh my gosh! All the players see that Costa Rica's in the lead. The nerves will start kicking in for some of these players potentially.
Please don't bash.
Oh my gosh! Hamid dropping a few 100s. It flips back over to the US. Please, I don't want this to be a sweep. Roar dropping some 100s on this slow section. Alright, about to get into the last part of the map. Both players in the US dropping a lot of accuracy. It flips over to Costa Rica's side.
Costa Rica has quite the advantage.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Everyone's still holding on their full combo. It is a pure accuracy battle right now. It flips back over to the US side as Costa Rica hits a few 100s. Is a 1/100 difference. Oh my gosh, it's flickering! The US out the lead, Costa Rica. Oh my gosh, I think Costa Rica will take it. Just don't drop 100. Oh,
Come on!
He won't stop flipping over. No, Hamid! Oh my gosh, stop dropping 100s, please. No.
The dream of not a sweep.
Oh my gosh, I think Hamid dropped a few too many 100s. Oh my gosh. And the United States are gonna take it 5-0 with a sweep. Every player in the lobby FCing and Pui with an SS.
What a map to end this match on.
Oh, that was so close. It just kept on flipping over. And it came down to just those few 100s at the very end.
This might have been a sweep, but it was worth it for that last map to have this match, I think. That last half was so intense.
Costa Rica had one heck of a performance. Shoutouts to Pui. They were playing phenomenally in this match, to be honest. As they are seated at 25 or something, and Pui is sitting here assessing these maps against a team like the United States and outperforming players on the on the 5th seeded team. Even though they did get sweeped, they had a really good performance on some of those maps in this match.
Yep. And it's not over for them. It continues in the losers bracket, and they are facing Turkey. A country in a similar situation where you have Fruko Yudako being an amazing player, especially in Hidden, and Neurology also being quite a good player, similar to Hotman. So we could have an interesting match in the lower bracket next week there. And the United States are facing Australia.
Yeah, I don't know what team they're going to face in the lower bracket, but that might be a team to kind of watch out for in the lower bracket, to be honest. I could definitely see them getting an upset potentially against a team that's seated slightly above them, for sure.
Turkey. Costa Rica's facing Turkey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup, actually. I'm kind of interested to see how they will do in that.
Well, I think we also have one more interesting match coming up now, in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yes. Sweden and Switzerland.
Yeah, and that'll be the last match of this week, and that'll be happening in 30 minutes. Could definitely... it has the potential to be potentially kind of close. I could definitely see it being maybe a 5-3 or a 5-2 or something. So definitely stay tuned for that.
I'm hoping for a final, not a sweep. We still haven't seen a tiebreaker. Just a heads up for the teams. If you want to make it happen.
Ending things off the tiebreaker would be awesome. And yeah, I actually have only commentated sweeps so far, unfortunately. So hopefully the next match is not a sweep, or else I guess I'm just cursed to only cast sweeps this week.
I believe in you.
I believe in y'all. Sweden and Switzerland, please don't be a sweep. But anyways, that'll be it for me and Inwolf for a bit. We'll see you all in 30 minutes. Definitely stay tuned for more Taiko World Cup action this week.
ないですね。 When I feel down, I try not to forget a little around. It's a beautiful place. It's not always easy living in this world, but I know it's up to me, and I am never giving up. I swear I hold on. It's a beautiful place.
All right, and welcome everyone to the Osu Taiko World Cup 2022. We are in the round of 32, and this will be Sweden versus Switzerland. I am Ethan, and I am joined by Azer.
Hello, hello. Due to a series of unfortunate events, I am here casting the Taiko World Cup. Crazy how that happens. But yes, we have Sweden and Switzerland here today. Seed number 9 versus 24. There's a little bit of a gap between those, but I mean, we've seen some pretty close matches earlier on with some seeds, some teams that were seeded much lower even, right? So I'm pretty curious to see how this ends up going.
Yeah, this could definitely be like a 5-3 or something. I could definitely see it being like a 5-3. Or even like a 5-4 if some crazy events happened.
Yeah, like we've seen a lot of the like lower seeded teams have a pretty good run on things like Nomad 1, I think, considering it's like the easiest map of the pool, but also I don't know, usually I think you'd be seeing maybe a couple of teams go for a shot at like Nomad 4 or something like that, right? Like a lot of like funny gimmicks that they can just learn. I don't think we've seen too much success with that this round though, however.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess we'll get into the roles in just a moment here. And the winner of this match will be playing against Canada. And if Sweden is winning this. That would be a very close match in just technical seeding, as Sweden's seeded number 9th and Canada's 8th seed. So that'd be quite an interesting matchup, and looks like both teams have rolled. Nuren rolled 75. I don't know what the other team rolled, though. I think it was 40-something, and if that's the case, Sweden wins the roll.
Does look like it's a 46.
Yep, so Sweden's going to win the roll and have the first pick. And Switzerland has got the first ban. They're going to ban DT1. I don't think I've seen DT1 be played in a match that I've commentated, and also I just have not seen anyone ban it. It just seems like it's been kind of avoided from the looks of things.
Even last week as well with the qualifiers, I think a lot of people ended up not really liking either of the DT1s. I guess maybe it's a little bit of an unconventional skill set, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not really a skill set a lot of people practice, to be honest, as most people don't really practice like slower DT maps, so it's kind of an awkward skill set that's usually filled by more of like the Nomad ACK players from teams, usually. Or if the DT players can also play tech pretty well, it might also just be filled by the straight up DT players. And it looks like Nomad 1 is going to be the first map. Kind of an interesting first map from Sweden.
I think normally you'd expect like you'd expect like a better team on paper to try to go for some more riskier things, or like some of the skill sets that are harder to fulfill, but maybe they feel very confident in their ACK on this, right? We've seen I think we've seen a couple of SSs, if not very close to SSs on this already, so I don't really doubt that, that there's a good chance we see that. The scores on this have been pretty high, so
yeah, this is a map where it's very easy to get a near SS accuracy, but it's kind of hard to actually just straight up SS it. There's a lot of patterns in it that are just awkward enough that a lot of players just end up catching just enough 100s where they don't SS. So, I don't know, we've probably seen an SS, but a lot of players have been getting a lot of very high accuracy plays on this. So you're seeing Ui and 0 for Switzerland, and Raf and Nurend for Sweden. And for Sweden, we're probably going to be seeing Raf and Nurend for most of the maps, if not all of them, as they are those two players are very strong.
I actually think that's pretty interesting, because there's a couple of teams. I think Sweden is one of the most notable teams that I guess you could say benefited from this tournament being 2v2, right?
Yeah, for sure. If it was 3v3, Sweden would not be the seeding. They would be like a mid seed, I think.
Yeah,
I think like a mid or
lower to see like the difference, the difference that it really makes. You know, there's some teams that have like a very few extremely good players, but there's also some other teams. I think we've seen Germany as well, which like seeded extremely well. Just I think really benefiting from having like a six players in your roster, right? So it's interesting to see who's able to actually make use of that and who opts not to, because sometimes 2 is enough.
Yeah, and also, yeah, Germany just really went ham on qualifiers just because of the 6-player teams, I feel like, because Germany has a lot of players who are specialists in their sort of stuff, and being able to have more specialists for them really benefited them for these qualifiers, and potentially in the rest of the tournament, as I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Although I guess as we're going to go on the topic with this first map picked by Sweden, everyone's holding on to SS, although oh my god, just as I started talking about the match, Lee drops the SS and Nurend actually drops their combo.
Interesting. All right. We're already right off the bat, slight lead for Switzerland, but I do believe this picks up at least a little bit, maybe enough for someone else to trip up.
It is not over for Sweden, as everyone's accuracy is fairly high. Nurend did drop a few 100s of that miss, I believe. Although Nurend and 0 both trading misses, that could have been devastating for Switzerland, but Nurend's going to trade that miss from 0, causing things to stay really close and competitive, but still in Switzerland's favor. Raf still holding on to the SS for Sweden, though. That's going to potentially be important later on.
I think still just a slight, very, very slight lead, I guess, just from the combo advantage that Zero got earlier on. Just a 10k difference here. In comparison with Nurend, but we still got about a third to go.
Yeah, Nurend and Zero actually tied on accuracy, but yeah, Zero has the higher score just off the combo. Although, just I say that, Zero just dropped a few 100s as we get into this next PI.
It's real close.
Yeah, it's gonna make things even more close. There's still a decent bit of map left, though. This is so close still. Switzerland still with the lead. Oh my gosh, Raph still holding on to that SS. Oh, it's starting to flicker. Oh my gosh. Oh, the 1/100 difference.
Wait,
it flickers over the side of Sweden.
Tied. Hold on. Wait,
hold on. It's just coming down to combo, I think. I don't know what it's coming down to. It might just come down to sliders, actually.
What is this score difference?
It's coming down to sliders. No way. Wait. I think, oh my god. Is it going to come down to a slider? The last part of the map. If anyone drops 100 right here, it might mean the point for it goes to the other team.
Any act drop at the end here? This is like 20 points or something.
It's coming down to a slider. No way. Sweden, what?
22 points.
That, oh my god, Sweden. Raph with an SS to clutch it up for Sweden to avoid the break point. What is that? Oh, I feel so bad for Switzerland right now. Oh my gosh.
What a banger start to this match. 22 points. That's already the closest we've seen a map in this round so far. Possibly the entire tournament, honestly.
Have we seen a map in Taiko World Cup that has a lower like score difference that isn't a tie than 22 points? Have we seen like a 10-point difference map in Taiko World Cup? Like that might be actually one of the closest matches in TWC that has not been a tie.
It's a bit unfortunate for Switzerland, right? But at least Sweden, I don't know. Maybe the nerves caught Nurend a little bit there. It would have been a little bit of an unfortunate start to start on your pick and lose it immediately. But at least they get to keep it, even if it was very, very, very close.
Talk about a risky first pick. 22 points. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, kind of just how we were like briefly talking about. You could say like No Mod 1 is the type of map that would maybe favor Switzerland, at least in comparison to the others, right? So evidently it does, as that was extremely close, even with Raph SSing that like effortlessly, right? So, but now moving on to some double time, we've got September.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I really hope this is not a sweep. Like, please, Switzerland. I believe in y'all. Yeah, Switzerland with their first pick of the match is going to be DT2. Kind of an interesting first pick, but I think Switzerland's pretty decent at speed. I have not looked at their qualifier results to know if they did well in the qualifier DT. But I think FC2 VP is a decent speed player. But I haven't seen them in too many community tournaments, so it's a bit hard to tell.
I think this is another map we've been seeing a lot of. I think this has close to the highest presence, I think. At least today, I think this has been played in every single match.
MC2 VP is going to be the first to pick up some 100s. Although with it being DT, a lot of players are probably going to drop accuracy soonish. Although, as I'm saying that, everyone's holding on to incredible AC. Okay, Nerds going to drop their SS, but yeah, everyone is really strong AC on this pick. This is kind of a bit, basically like the patterning and all that, and also the speed isn't too high, so I can definitely see how all these players be getting this kind of access. Although, oh my gosh, if I did big act drop from both players in Switzerland.
And you can already see a little bit of like a comfortability difference there, just in the accuracies. They're just 100 on the side of Sweden, and like a 99 average on Switzerland so far, right? So kind of a big difference already. Could still change though as we get into one of the more trickier parts.
Yeah, Switzerland needs someone on Sweden to miss soon. Things aren't really changing too much as we're getting towards the end of the map. Switzerland really needs someone on the side of Sweden to miss last second. This map comes to a close. I'm not sure if that's really going to happen. Looks like this might just be a breakpoint.
Okay, what is this?
And I didn't even realize it. But yeah,
Two for
Raph
two.
just SS that. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay, that is one heck of a score. Like a team score in general from Sweden. Oh my gosh. Yeah, every player is gonna FC, but just the accuracy difference from all the players is huge.
Is it possible for them to get 100? Oh, let's find out. What's next on the table here for Sweden?
Yeah, SSing DT and Taiko is quite difficult, as the OD gets pretty high. I don't know what the converted OD is, but I want to say it's like, this would be like OD 8.4 or something. There's also like an offset difference with DT compared to Nomad. So it's definitely quite awkward to SS a DT map, especially just in a tournament match.
And take their time with their next pick. Considering how the first one went, maybe they're trying to reconsider. They're playing this out.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how Sweden's pick resulted in almost a breakpoint, and then Switzerland's pick, there's quite a bit of a score difference. Although they were probably not expecting Sweden to have a near SS and then a straight up SS on a DT pick. And the next map is going to be Nomad 3. It's going to be the Speed Nomad.
When the sky above and the stars are calling, so there a new light now unfolding. Night cloud shadows looming at midnight. You know it's time has come to advance. When you see your fall down, then you feel your breakdown.
If there's any player changes for Switzerland other than both of their previous players just changing slots, I guess.
It's like, no, I want this slot now. Getting a bit tired of this one. Yeah, one thing about it, Switzerland that's interesting is that they've actually not swapped any of their players either. Both teams seem to just be kind of like a two-man army at the moment. Although, I don't know if this is just happening to be the case for Switzerland or if most of their picks are just going to be with Hui and MC2VP. Getting on to Nomad 3, Sweden's second pick of the match. Sweden's up 2-0, but both those two maps were fairly close, although just the accuracy difference was pretty high on that second map on DT2.
When the sky above and the stars are calling.
And early stage speed picks on Taiko can get pretty close sometimes. So this could be another map that could be fairly close, if both the players on Switzerland can handle the speed. This is a speed where you do need to play some amount of speed to be comfortable with it, but a lot of players can play the speed as long as the patterns are favorable towards them. or their playstyle.
Oh, so far everyone's looking real comfortable.
Yeah, everyone is
No
looking really
hack drop
comfortable.
yet.
Yeah, 0 accuracy drops.
That's crazy. They might be finding a way to have a map closer than 22 points.
Yeah, they might just straight up tie a map now. Oh god.
I haven't seen that in a while.
It happens more often than it should, I feel like, sometimes in Taiko. And yeah, no players have still act drop. We're almost in the second half. No one's dropped 100 yet. I don't know if there's sliders in this map, but if it comes down to their slider difference, that is going to be very scary. Oh, someone did hit a finisher. Okay, it could also come down to that as well, maybe.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, Sweden now is the lead off of someone not hitting a finisher on the side of Switzerland. Looks like we didn't hit a finisher. That could be huge, as we're starting to get to the, like, getting close to the end of the map, and still nobody has dropped 100 yet. It might just come down to straight up someone not hitting a finisher.
Oh, nope. Alright guys, this joke is real funny, but who's dropping act?
Yeah, can someone drop back, please? This is scary. Are we about to see a 4-way SS that is decided by... Oh my gosh, MC2PP is getting the first drop 100. Everyone else is still holding their SS. We're getting towards the end of the map. Oh my gosh, is Sweden about to take this off of 100 in a finisher not being fully hit? Oh my gosh, it's so close. Any drop right now and it could flip right back over to Switzerland's side and cause a breakpoint to happen.
This 2 mil?
Oh my... It looks like it's gonna go over to Sweden, but with the accuracy difference, oh my gosh.
Look
It
at
is
that.
2 mil. It is a 2-way SS on the side of Sweden. Oh my gosh. It
That
literally...
is insane.
That is insane.
This is actually so tragic for Switzerland. Like, they're playing so well. What is that? That's 1 missed finisher and 100.
Yeah, both players played
And
nearly
that's a
perfectly.
loss. What is this, man? Like, you can't even do anything against this.
Imagine
That's so
sitting-
sad.
oh my gosh. Imagine like nearly SSing a map and then you're like, alright, I think we might have won that. Or you just straight up SS it. You're just like, oh, we lost. Like, oh my gosh, that's so unfortunate for Switzerland.
Yeah, there's always a lot of like, I don't know, pretty like misleading like stories about like round of 32 matches, because you look at a lot of the scores and they're all like sweeps or 5-1s or whatever, but a lot of the maps are really close. Like there's a lot of like really good performances from the losing teams really often that at a glance it doesn't really seem like it because it's like a sweep, but I mean, like that's an excellent play that they just did. It's just unfortunately Sweden just happened to have played perfectly, right? So
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Just any little mistake could just cost your team the point with some of these maps. Like just making a minor error and just getting a 1/100, that might have just cost your team the point potentially. It's crazy seeing so many maps being this close, but I guess that's the nature of round of 32, I guess. And the next map is going to be Free Mod 2, picked by Switzerland.
we should see some
Not
score
Fremont,
difference with this one just from all the mods, right? There's no way. Wait, Raph still hasn't dropped 100. I just
Wait,
realized.
is that actually the case?
3 for 3. I forgot to point that out. A little overshadowed by everyone else also not dropping hundreds.
Yeah, wait, Rep has not dropped a 100. Wait, what is this consistency? What? That is... Okay, that is some crazy consistency, yeah. Yeah, that is just so unfortunate for Switzerland, because they're playing really well. Like, I think they're a new team to Taiko World Cup. I don't know if this is their first year or their second or third year, but they've only been around for about like a year or two in TWC, and they're playing really well this year. But they might just get knocked down to losers like really early on.
I mean, if they're playing like this, I don't think they're worried about that. Honestly,
Yeah, they might be able to make.
they've been playing a lot better than other teams that are dropping to losers, right? I think we should all be looking forward to whoever loses this match. I think we should be looking forward to how they're doing next week because they're both really, really good teams.
Yeah, it's unfortunate one will have to drop down to the losers bracket, but yeah, whichever team does end up dropping down to losers bracket, they're gonna have one. I have a feeling they might get a really nice losers bracket run.
They changed slots again.
They they just just really don't want to be in the same slots. Like the slots gave me bad luck. I gotta swap over to slot 3.
All right, identical mods from both sides, but 4 hard rocks on the board. So, do you think ESS is this one with HDHR? I'd
With
be extremely
HDHR.
impressed.
Oh,
And
okay,
he's
was
already
that
got
client? Was that client? Please tell me that was client. Oh my goodness, that might have just. That's so unfortunate for Raph. I think that wasn't client. I think that was just that. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Raph ending the SS streak. But that's good for Switzerland because they kind of need that.
Yeah, all you needed to counter him was like OD 8 point something or whatever this is.
OD 8.4 with HR, I believe. Oh, Ui is starting to drop quite a bit of 100s though in this section. It's gonna give lead back over to Sweden.
Yeah, it's just solely score difference right now is only with the top 2 players running the double mods. Both hard rock players having a good time so far.
He's starting to drop quite a few 100s, dropping down to under 98 though. That's going to start making things a bit difficult for Switzerland. That's getting to kind of a dangerous territory with their accuracy. They're still keeping on to that combo at the very least, so if Raph does pick up a miss, it'll make things quite close. But we're starting to get towards the end of the map. This is quite a short pick. It's just under 2 minutes long, and we're getting towards the end of the map, and nothing's really changing. It might just come down to an accuracy difference once again. MC2PP is gonna drop their SS. They're still holding on to the final SS of the lobby. Looks like it's just gonna come down to an accuracy difference as no one's really dropping combo. And yeah,
that is an SS, but on the other player this time, Nuren.
Yep. Everyone FCing, but yeah, Sweden is just going to take the point off of accuracy, and that is some really difficult act to beat. Nuren just SSing, and then Raph with a 6-100 play. Man, this is so unfortunate for Switzerland. They are playing really well. It's just Sweden is just on another level right now.
Yeah, this is definitely a very, very strong performance for them.
Like, Switzerland's performance would actually upset some teams in the top 8 seeding, I feel like, with quite a few maps. Like, their performance is good enough that they could actually take a point off of some of the other, like, top 8 seeded teams. Yeah, Sweden now at match point and with the pick. This is looking pretty unfortunate for Switzerland, but they still are in the match. They still have a chance to redeem themselves.
Hold on, that's why he dropped hundreds. His offset was wrong.
Oh, oh no. Offset issues, feels bad.
Ooh.
Ooh, no mod 4.
Sweden is just going all out with the nomads. It's
Yeah,
pretty funny because all of the closest picks of the like all of the closest maps being played for Switzerland, right, are all Sweden's picks.
Yes, Switzerland. They should just pick what Sweden's picking.
And
Like, okay, so
picking
what
again.
did Sweden pick in this situation? Okay, let's pick that.
Alright, but it's a little bit of a hard situation though for Switzerland. 0-4 As close as this is, man. As close as all of these maps. Ridiculously close, but you're still staring at a 0-4 score for Switzerland, right? So a little bit of a mountain to climb. Hoping to do good on this gimmicky pick. I like that this shows that it's 10,000 BPM.
Yep. 10,000 BPM. Get your vibro ready. It's definitely 10,000 BPM.
There's a lot of pretty funny things being shown sometimes. Earlier today was showing a Mania map.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I don't know why, but just clients sometimes decides to do that. I don't know if that's a taiko bug or if that's just a laser client bug.
Who knows?
Well, with Nomad 4 starting off, Sweden now at match point. Switzerland trying their best to prevent this from being a sweep. Oh, and Raph is going to be the first to miss on this map. That's going to be kind of huge for Switzerland, but it's kind of early on, so the combo scoring isn't going to affect Sweden too much overall over the course of the whole map. Actually, they still have the lead off of accuracy. As I didn't even realize, but MC2 VP is kind of struggling in accuracy so far on this pick. And Raph with another miss, though. That's going to start flipping things over, but MC2PP is going to trade it. Now Sweden has the lead.
Yeah, MC2 actually dropped so much act during that as well. He's below 97 now, and that's just creating such a massive lead for Sweden here.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it, but he is holding an SS right now. That is quite an insane performance. Although sometimes this Lesby side can trip up some players' accuracy. MC is still struggling to hold accuracy. Oh, he's going to drop the full combo and the SS. That is really devastating for Switzerland. That's going to give Sweden pretty decent lead now, going in his next half of the map.
Yeah, and I would say this ending part here is probably one of the easier parts of this as well. Like, most of the gimmicks are kind of over at this point. Kind of just plays like a regular map.
There is some gimmicks towards the end of the map that can trip up some players if they didn't really practice it too much, but pretty sure all these players have practiced enough to where it won't be too much of an issue. There's some ninja notes, I believe, at the end, in between some of the patterns, if I can recall correctly. As map starts coming to a close, though, it looks like things are starting to look... oh my gosh! Wait! Okay, never mind! Raph and Nurin both missed, although the combo scoring might be kicking in, it might be a bit... Never mind, Nurin's still missing! Okay, okay, this could actually be very... Oh my gosh. It's not... I don't think there's enough time.
They both managed to avoid the note lock, though, so they kind of recover super well from those misses. And they put the combo back up by now, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe with another...
too late.
No, map's over by now. It was a valiant effort.
Oh, dude, that got a bit scary at the end for Sweden. Both players missing on the exact same pattern. But they instantly recovered, and the accuracy difference was simply too high, really, for a comeback to come in for Switzerland. And Sweden's going to take the match 5-0. That's really unfortunate for Switzerland not get a point in this match.
Yeah, honestly, Sweden played very well. Congratulations. But you also really have to credit Switzerland for really putting up a fight. I mean, 22 points, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, you can't, oh my gosh. There's so many instances where Switzerland could have taken a point, and this match might even be 3-2 in favor of Switzerland somehow in a different universe. Yeah, definitely do not count Switzerland out yet, and I really cannot wait to see how they play in the losers bracket, as they could definitely put out a very scary performance around there.
Sweden now will move on to face Canada in the round of 16, while Switzerland will be dropping down to face the Netherlands. Both of those are pretty much dead even matchups in terms of seeding, right? So Canada, Sweden, 8 and 9 seeds. Netherlands, Switzerland, also 24-25th So
Yeah.
those should be excellent matches to watch, especially if Switzerland is playing like this. I'd be a little bit scared if I was from the Netherlands right now.
Yeah, Switzerland put up a scary performance for a 20th seed team. That is crazy to see. I'm just excited to see them. And I'm excited to see Sweden versus Canada. That is going to be a really good match as well. Next week, we're looking for... there's going to be some great matches next week. I cannot wait.
Yes, that does actually completely wrap up the round of 32. That was all of the matches being played. And in order to see what the teams are going to be playing next weekend in the round of 16, we're going to take a very brief 5 to 10 minute break and then move on with the round of 16 map pool showcase. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right, and welcome everyone to the Taiko World Cup 2022 Round of 16 Map Pool Showcase. I am Ethan, and I am joined by vv1431767648 at the glorious 6 a.m. In Australia.
6:30 a.m. gaming, a nice 6 a.m. shower. It's been great, and I am now refreshed for the better or the worse, and ready to sit along and cast along the Round of 16 showcase. So, tell me a little bit about the showcase themselves, Ethan, because you've actually had the chance to maybe look through the pools, while I haven't. So I
looked through a little bit of the pool, and there's a couple interesting maps in here. Yeah, as usual, there's a couple maps that are the interesting. Some maps I'll probably be banned a whole lot. But yeah, let's just head straight into Nomad 1. Yeah, It's Rainy to Buy, and this will be a TWC diff mapped by player 1211. Now, this map is OD 7.5, so quite a difficult OD to act. You don't normally see this OD for Nomad picks, and it's definitely gonna make things a bit tricky. Even though some of the patterning is stuff that players at this level are gonna be fairly comfortable with, I think.
Well, the higher OD is kind of, I guess, a method by the map pullers to, stop, double S battles from taking place. Crank it up to 7.5, maybe sometimes in the later stages of the tournament, maybe 8, maybe 8.5. It's just there to try and divide the accuracy players from each other. So it's not just a pure accuracy battle, and maybe pick up a couple misses every once in a while, you never know. So, 7.5, definitely a step up from last week. Okay, some nice looking bar lines. Next 2 seconds. What is this feral over again?
It's feral, but no one won.
Oh wait a minute. Are those structured bar lines? No, there's no gimmicks. No, that can't be.
No, there's no gimmicks to the bar lines. They're just there for aesthetic.
Oh man, you say it's there for aesthetic, but my god, I saw those bar lines and they started looking like patterns. And I started freaking out.
It's like PTSD from Nomad, all the Nomad 4s you've had to play. Just like, oh my god, just starts playing patterns. I like to imagine that some players will ghost tap those bar lines as if they're actual notes.
Yep. Man, I'm getting blasted in the showcase because of this. It's too early in the morning for this.
It's too early in the morning for this, yeah.
Oh, man. Sussy bar lines.
Yeah, this map is a bit on the shorter side at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It isn't too long for a Nomad 1, but with the OD being pretty high, it definitely makes up for it. And also, some of the patterning is a little bit awkward, but most of it is fairly playable for us as players. Although this patterning of this OD is definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. I think if this map was like OD like 6 or something, the pattern's wouldn't be too bad, but I think when it's scaled up to that OD, I think it just really makes the map quite challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, on to Nomad 2, be the tech pick of the pool.
Fiend de May.
Yeah,
the notable map. But is it a gimmick map?
You know, the funny thing is that I played the non-edited version first, thinking it was the actual diff, and I was thinking to myself, what the heck is this? I thought it was Nomad 4 at first. I thought I misclicked. Okay, so this is an edited diff to remove like all the SV and stuff. The actual map has a ton of crazy SV and stuff. I was like, oh my god.
No. The SV gang is not impressive.
I think there's still some SV in this edit, but yeah. A lot of awkward patterning and stuff.
Ah, yes. Most of the time, you see a lot of quad patterns in terms of 1-6. But now, it's more like 7 notes, to be honest.
Yeah, and also, there's some monos there to trip up a lot of DDKK players, and even some KDK players if you're not really like too comfortable just hitting pretty long monos can definitely throw off some players on their accuracy, or even just pick up a random miss in those.
Okay, mono streams. Wow, they don't like DDK
Yeah.
players. Huh.
Yeah, it's a tech map that's anti everyone, because honestly, this map is anti KDK from my experience, and it's also pretty anti DDKK from those monos. If you can play monos though, this map is probably pretty decent for you as a DDKK player.
Mm-hmm. And it's about 2.5 minutes in length, so there's a fair amount of downtime throughout the sections of the song, from the looks of it. Only have 6, which is fairly standard. Probably a bit more on the lower side, actually, so maintaining high accuracy should be possible for many players, despite the increased technicality of the map patterns themselves.
Yeah, this is quite a step up from the last round, No Mod 2. Last round's No Mod 2, we saw quite a few teams getting really high accuracy plays. I don't know how many teams will be getting, like, near SS accuracy on this map. This is really brutal to act, even with the OD6 on this.
Nah, it's not too hard. I don't expect this to be as difficult as some people are maybe projecting it to be.
Yeah, maybe it just looks very intimidating, but yeah, it is kind of a scary map to look at. I'm kind of interested to see how teams perform on this one. And yeah, that's No Mod 2. Moving on to No Mod 3, the speed pick of the pool.
All right, time for the speed. I'm not even going to read that. Nah. I already have a bad reputation with pronouncing stuff. You can't pay me any money to read that. So, I'm just gonna hold the speed map.
It also has a great diff name that you could try to pronounce. So have fun with that.
No. I didn't wake up in the morning just to do this, nah.
I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. for this.
Okay, so, the speed map, I'm just gonna nickname it. There's only of 7. So, yeah, map by Davey. And star rating of 6.66. Mildly
Nice.
intimidating. This is the most mildly intimidating map I've seen all morning. Once again, replay all being set so far by Backfire 2.
New and evolved Backfire. Insane.
Oh yes, of course. 3.5 minutes in length. Definitely now stepping up with a proper and somewhat challenging speed kick, 260 BPM. Maybe putting in a bit of extra kick that was a little bit lacking in the last round.
Yeah, some of these sections are quite unfriendly to players who don't ult some of these patterns.
Oh wait, what was that spin-off?
Oh yeah, that spinner. I did. Yeah, this map is pretty unfriendly towards players that roll a lot. So there might be some speed players that will just randomly miss on some of these patterns, because these patterns are kind of brutal for role players.
Ouch. But you know what? This speed map definitely has a lot of streams, like proper 1-4 streams. It's about 2,000 notes for 3.5 minutes. So what? You're looking at a note per minute rate of about. Oh, can I do math in the morning? Like 550. So it works out to about what? How many notes per second? Oh man, I can't do this. Like nine notes per second.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I hope.
I don't really hear people bring up notes per second too much in Taiko, which is interesting.
I think I stole it from Quaver. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that is. I don't really hear that too much. Although, yeah, that is, I guess, a metric that you can look at.
It's an
in Taiko
important metric,
sometimes.
especially
Yeah.
for a speed pick.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
know why other commentators haven't used it till now.
That is honestly a good point. I'm surprised that has not been a thing that's just leaked from the Mania community over to the Taiko community. I guess.
I'm
shout-
groundbreaking history right here.
Yeah, yep. Breaking.
So, yeah, there we go. As we come to the last 10 or so seconds of the song, nice versy finish. Oh man, even throwing some finishes just to, yeah, just to mess with you. But keep in mind, 9 notes per second does not mean 9 inputs per second, because there's a thing called finishes. Alright, so, time for Nomad 4. Where did you fall? It's probably what I said in my dreams last night. Alright, Math by Alqui. Let's hope we don't have some heartbroken fans here. You know, Nomad 4 typically the most gimmicky. I guess that's going to be the case. Although to what degree, we will find out very soon.
Yeah, most of the map is just some low SV sort of stuff, and some little ninja notes also thrown in there towards the end.
And then just a random break for the sake of having breaks.
You just need a little 2-second break. Hands a bit tired after the first 100 notes, you know?
Yeah, too much effort, clearly.
Yes. Yeah, fairly low SV and some little SV speed ups also thrown in there, and some little ninja notes as well.
But yeah, there we go. There's a lot of doublets in this section.
You know, this is a map that I could see a lot of lower seeded teams practicing a lot in order to try getting good at so they can beat a lot of the higher seed teams. And also, there's a speed up right here as well, so not all just slow and slow SV sort of stuff. There is this speed up here that's actually pretty fast, SV-wise, yeah.
Oh wow, that's an interesting transition.
Yeah, that transition, there's definitely gonna be some players who backdrop on that.
Yeah, especially because the overlay of the slider will give you a little bit less time to actually read what's going on. If you're using proper bar line sliders. But yeah, alright, so we're having another slow section with some overlapping accelerated finishes.
And a lot of doubles as well.
Yeah, and some of those doubles are a bit out of place. They'll look like doubles, but actually be single notes and vice versa.
Yeah, this is a very tricky map. It's definitely gonna catch some players off guard if they do not practice it.
It's more of a reading challenge more than anything. I don't interpret this as more of like a memorization or whatever. But definitely it's a reading challenge, which lower seeded teams can probably prepare for. Will the higher seeded teams ban it though? We'll see.
Yeah, looking at this map, I kind of anticipate being a maybe potentially popular pick with some of the lower seeded teams, to be honest. If they do practice it, and if it doesn't get banned as well. I could definitely see this map being banned by a lot of teams.
Alright, so up next is Konfu Chevet.
Hidden 1, and also kind of TB2, as it is 4 minutes long. It's quite a lengthy map.
Hello, Tiebreaker, how you doing?
Got the early tiebreak showcase.
Whipping out nice and early.
Yeah, joke's on you. Tiebreaker is now forced hidden. New updated rule set.
New update. Man, you know what? No one's gonna do this. But just because I'm gonna say it publicly anyways. We shall have some rule changes on the 1st of April. Totally will not be April Fool's joke.
just actually play with the matches with the new rule set.
Of course.
Yes.
You know, draws are now an option. You can just decide, nah, we're gonna draw this.
You can
that way no one loses.
You just put like in chat /surrender and then a surrender vote appears.
Oh, of course, of course.
And for France, it will be required that you actually surrender.
Oh no. I wonder what other rule sets I can steal from chess. can't think of any. It's too early in the morning.
But there,
Yeah, I will say this is pretty much a relatively straightforward hidden pick. Although we are seeing some lengthier streams now.
yeah, there are some speed ups and there are some tricky like 1-3 sections as well. Overall, this map kind of has a little bit of everything. It kind of is just a mini tiebreaker with hidden, in my opinion. Although, yeah, as you can see, there's some really awkward streams and stuff.
Yeah. Although, if you've played Hidden 2 fairly well, this should be somewhat within your comfort zone. And it is a bit more of the same, just maybe tuned up a bit in terms of the duration and the frequency of snapping changes required. But, yeah. Difficulty on Shaolin Battle.
Yeah,
That
it's
might
kind of
be
an
a song.
interesting pick.
Oh, wait. Confusion. Oh. Mixing martial arts with the cheese, like the song title is. Got it. It took me 3 minutes to get the. Oh my god. Oh no. But oh wow, what's okay? Interesting snaps at the end here.
Unfortunately, I'm American, so I did not get the joke for even longer.
Was there a BPM change there or no? Can't
That?
tell.
Huh. Maybe? Might just been like some really weird sound. I don't know. This map's very awkward though at points, for sure. I think overall, it's definitely more technical than all the other skill sets, but I feel like it kind of covers like a bit of everything, but it's mainly more like technical than all the other skill sets overall throughout the entire map. And speaking of technical, I guess we're going on to Hidden 2, which is the slow/technical map of the Hidden Pool.
Wait, that wasn't the slow one? Oh boy. This will be good. Either that or we're getting baited with 300 BPM. Alright, we're not getting baited with 300 BPM. That's maybe next week. I have no idea. But here we go. OD of 6. Okay, it's slightly gimmicky. Slightly.
Yeah, it's a bit gimmicky. It has a lot of just like SV changes and stuff.
For a star rating of 4.67, the hidden aspect should spike the theoretical like difficulty up quite a bit.
Yeah, as we see into the section, it's quite an intense speed up.
All right, wavy hidden meta, where are you? I love to see this.
Yeah, it's not all just slow SV hidden. It is just a mix of everything with the SV.
I imagine there's a bit of tech in there.
Yeah, just a little bit of tech as well added onto there just for some extra spice.
But it does sound a little bit repetitive. It does sound a little bit repetitive in the PI time, so it's not like it should be too unfamiliar to get the timing down.
Yeah, definitely. If players just make a practice diff and practice it for a bit, pretty sure they could. And also,
Slow
yeah,
down. Oh wait, hang on a minute. Okay, some players might be banning this.
yeah, this is gonna be a very tricky match. Even the star rating is a lie. It is under
star
5
rating's a
stars,
lie.
but yeah.
I was gonna say, where's the difficulty spike in this? I guess I found the answer. It's in the second half.
Oh yeah,
of the
and
song.
there's, if anyone hasn't noticed, there's also just some ninja notes thrown in there towards the end of the map, just because why not?
What? Remember, everybody in the round of 32 was still in this tournament.
Yeah,
Remember that.
this map, you know, I was saying, like, No Mod 4 might be banned, but, like, Hidden 2 might be one of the most banned maps of this pool, is my potential prediction. But
Nice.
I guess we'll just have to see the rest of the pool. That's the Hidden pool, and now we're going on the HR1, the technical / more ag-oriented sort of hard rock pick.
Alright. Illusional Flashback. Mapped by Nifty, composed by Yunosuke. A Delirium difficulty. Only of 8.4. Definitely has a faster start.
Yeah, the OD is it too high for Hard Rock Sarens? It's pretty standard OD.
No, it's straightforward. It's pretty normal.
Yeah, it is pretty normal OD, but the SV and the amount of tech in this map, it's going to be very hard to hack anyways.
Oh man, even the replayer is getting 100s. Oh no.
You know it's a spicy
you know
pick when the replay.
You know it's a spicy pick when the replayers can't do it. Can't get the near double S on around the 16 pull. That's when you know it's somewhat challenging. Has any of the replays missed yet? I don't think so. I want to give Mango ideas on Survivor questions.
Oh gosh.
But will say though, if he does, please do it when I'm showcasing. Actually, no, wait, it wouldn't help me because like it's a replay. Damn it! I get to watch it real time. But anyways, speeding up a little bit here now in terms of the scroll speed overall. Very straightforward patterns.
Yeah, I think this is the fastest SV section of the map, and also a little bit more of the, and also one of the more straightforward sections in some parts. Although there are still quite a bit of parts that can throw people's accuracy off quite a bit, even cause a miss. And yeah, that's the end of the map. It's fairly short, just under 2 minutes. Pretty interesting pick, although kind of standard in some ways as well for HR1. And now HR2.
Alright, time for a banger song.
Yep, banger song. And this map, there is some sections that have some awkward patterning, but overall, I feel like this is a fairly standard HR2. This has actually the same OD as HR1.
But it should help that this is a popular song in the community level. And I know the map set will be completely different, but still can help with timing a bit.
Yeah, the main challenge of this is just, can you read 222 BPM HR? And if so, you could probably play this map pretty decently.
Yeah. The accuracy is still going to be the same as Hard Rock 1. It's going to be 8.4. After the bad tech that we had last map, we had to, raise everybody's spirits with some good rage. So good, in fact, that the replay, I think, double S'd it.
Yeah.
So, that's how you know it's some good action.
Also, most of the map is 1-4. Actually, trying to remember if there is any 1-6, but most of it's just 1-4 streams and patterns. It's really basic, aside from the fact that it's 222 BPM HR.
I don't know, it doesn't come off to me as if there are many 1-6, if any. Oh, because I'm only seeing this for the first time myself, because pop in last minute, so I can't comment on that too well.
Yeah, I've only seen the map once, so I'm just trying to remember, like, for my one viewing of it, if there was any 1-6. I'm pretty sure there might be some in some parts, but yeah, it's mainly just 1-4 patterning at this BPM. Yeah, as we get to the end of the map,
Got some DK streams.
Yeah,
well.
there's two just huge DK streams as well.
And a mono stream, so.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of mono streams just to make all the DDKK players cry.
All right, time for double time one. It is going to be Breaker City.
Yeah,
I almost read that as Beaker City, like a science beaker. That would have been bad. But OD of 8.83, 2 minutes and 3 seconds in length.
a bit lower on the OD side for DT, but it is still pretty ACK-oriented, and also it is pretty brutal. Yeah, it's just pretty brutal to ACK overall. There's a lot of awkward patterning here. As you just see right here, like some 1/8 stuff.
Some minor SV fluctuation, although it's not really that intense.
Yeah, the SV is just mainly for aesthetic, but it could definitely throw some players off just enough to get a couple extra 100s, who knows.
Oh wow, this is actually going to be quite a challenge. especially for the lower bracket, or the loser bracket. You know, some of these, you know, transitions can put quite the strain on players' hands.
Players are already avoiding the first round's DT1. I'm really curious to see the pick and ban percentages for this map, because this map is very awkward and technical. A lot of teams were just straight up avoiding this like the previous DT1. They weren't really banning it too much, although some teams definitely did ban it. But a lot of teams also just weren't picking it either. It just seemed like a lot of teams are a bit too scared to pick it. This one's a lot harder than that one, so it'll be quite interesting to see how many teams will actually pick it and like ban this. It might be just up to the point where it might be banned a bit more than the last round's DT1. Who knows?
Oh, I just realized I forgot to put in my prediction for the tiebreaker question. I know the answer to it. I didn't even bother putting in a number. Whoops.
I felt like not doing it because that'd be cheating, as I literally have access to the map pool.
I'm sorry.
You're just like, nah, okay, I'm just gonna do it.
I forgot though, so it's okay. Too tight. Anyways, double time 2, lobby circuit.
Yeah, the speed DT pick of the pool. Higher OD than DT1, but also DT1 is just awkward enough that it has to be kind of a lower OD, or else it's just way too crazy in difficulty. Slightly straightforward, but there's some stuff in this map that will definitely make it very awkward. It doesn't have to do with just the raw BPM being quite high at 278.
And of course, the OD is actually somewhat up there. OD of 9.5, the highest we have seen thus far in the tournament. So, which actually kind of complements the higher BPM anyways, because you don't want to be column locking. But definitely a step up from September. And it's certainly not the banger that was September. Although a good number of players will be complacent. Like with those finishes right there.
Yeah,
yep, because at 300 near 300 BPM, yes, we still want to throw in the finisher sections.
Yeah, just gotta throw in the finisher sections as well. Can't have the players too comfortable.
No, we need to overheat your hands immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I suspect that there'll be a lot of players who will have to kind of train on those finisher sections to be able to FC this map consistently.
But here we go. Going to the last KI time off the song. Bit more of what you'd expect in a double time song. Maybe in a double time farm song. Although the accelerated finisher is what you'd expect. Okay. Visually, this is going to be a significant step up from the round 32 double time pulls.
Yeah, this is definitely a big step up from round of 32's DT too.
100%. And there we go. That's going to be the end of the double time.
Yeah, that's the end of the double time pool. Now onto the free mod pool with free mod 1. Camellia song. This future we didn't expect. Math by Teske.
Alright.
This is gonna be one of the more basic free mod picks. It's slightly techy, and it slightly favors HR, and it's pretty hidden hard rock friendly. I suspect that a lot of teams will be picking like 3 mod on this. It is free mod 1.
It is free mod 1. Traditionally in the World Cups and in just community tournaments, usually the first free mod is the easiest, or at least the most mod friendly.
Yeah, usually, and then free mod 3 is usually the anti-mod pick, where every mod is pretty brutal.
But hang on a minute, we got some
overlapping,
accelerating some streams here. pretty basic strings, but with hidden will be quite difficult to read.
Yeah, some of these sections definitely favor HR. I feel like overall the map definitely just slightly favors HR, but if you're a hidden player, no need to worry. If you're more of a hidden specialist, you can definitely play this map overall just fine. There's just some sections that are definitely more awkward with hidden and might require some practice.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Also, happy that the Poolers picked a Camellia song that hasn't been heard by everyone yet. I've actually never heard this Camellia song.
Oh, I think I might have in Mania.
Yeah, I have not heard this, in Taiko at least. So shoutouts to the Poolers for picking a more niche Camellia song. And yeah, that'll be free mod 1. Fairly friendly towards mods, and free mod 2. Oh gosh, I'm bad at pronouncing Japanese. Itsukiyo, Mad... I don't even want to try to pronounce that. Yeah, kind of an unexpected song type, to be honest, from a Taiko tournament pool.
Madeline. Oh, no, Madeline.
Yeah, this is like a swing map. Lots of complex snapping and stuff. It's gonna be very tricky to act, especially with HR, I feel like. Like, some of these sections, like, they're just... The snapping's very awkward, and it's gonna be pretty hard to act for HR players, unless you're very comfortable with this kind of stuff on a high OD.
Mm-hmm.
Even the replay is catching quite a bit of 100s with no mod here, showing that these sections are quite tricky. And also the SV is slightly on the lower side, so it's still like gonna be fairly challenging for hidden players as well. But I feel like with the accuracy, it might favor hidden players overall, but it's a slight favoring of hidden players, I think, to kind of balance out the HR players being favored on free mod 1.
Mm-hmm. Although, it is at a nice and comfortable pace. Shouldn't be too many surprises.
Also
Definitely
nice
a bit of a breather. It's definitely a breather. I actually go as far to say this is a bit more straightforward than Fremont 1, actually. But this section, of course, immediately proving me wrong.
Yeah.
Of course it does. Of course it does, now that they decided to throw in finishes.
Yeah, also, oh my gosh, yeah, there is some very awkward snappings here in this section.
What is this difficulty spike? What the? Oh man, I jinxed it.
Oh man.
First half is, you know, they had me in the first half, as the meme goes. Alright, now it's just to slow down the pace a little bit, make it a bit more difficult for the hidden players. Although hidden hard rock should be okay.
Yeah, I feel like hidden hard rock will be pretty okay on this compared to the other mods, because you kind of nullify the weaknesses of both the mods with how hidden hard rock works. Because the slow sections with slow section with hidden, I mean, they become pretty fast, and with the really fast section on hard rock, the way hidden hard rock on Scorby 2 works is that the speed's actually capped after a certain point, unlike normal hard rock where it just keeps on going until it's just impossible to read.
Mm-hmm.
So you might see some cases where the hidden hard rock player actually just plays better than the single mod player just because of that.
Maybe. And we will see. Man. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. Alright, we're almost in the home stretch. We only have 2 more Backfire 2 replays to watch, the first of which is Fusion.
Yeah, this will be the anti-mod pick of the pool.
3 minutes and 11 seconds in length, 200 BPM and an OD of 6, which has been the status quo thus far in the pre-mod section of the tourney. It is mapped by a rival, so we all know what that means. Although it is a relatively straightforward beginning here. Getting the players familiarized with some of the strings, which I imagine are going to be manipulated in the later sections of the song.
Yeah, there's a bit of a slowdown here that might be a bit tricky for hidden players, but Inarc players might be fine on this section.
Yeah, the streams themselves are not really too out of the ordinary, especially when you compare it to the rest of the pool as a whole.
Yeah, these patterns aren't too bad so far.
You've been teasing that this is the anti-mod of the pool, and I'm waiting to see where is it, because I haven't found it yet, boss.
Yeah, just gotta wait a little bit.
Okay, I'll keep waiting.
Although, there isn't too much 1-6 and stuff, it's mainly 1-4 for the most part. But it still manages to be fairly anti-mod in some sections, as coming into a little more of a intense section, the patterns get a bit more complex, and the streams are getting pretty long.
Yeah, they're
here.
getting pretty long. It's almost becoming like a borderline stream map.
Yeah, now, this is a poor streamy section of the map.
Okay, minor slide down, might trip up the act, but... Yeah.
Yeah, these streams look like they'll be quite real at HR. Unless you're really comfortable with reading HR at this scroll speed. Which it is 200 BPM, so it might not be too bad.
Yeah, no, this just looks like a very streamy free mod map. Just pretty ordinary and to the point, which is fine, because we haven't really had the opportunity to see that thus far in the round of 32, so it's definitely a nice change of pace for the free mod players. Definitely will suit some players, particularly with their skill sets. Although this is a nice speed up at the end here.
Yeah, this ending
Hidden Hard Rock might be actually difficult for this. Hang on a minute. Okay.
Yeah, if a player misses on some of these, the note locks could be pretty devastating. We could definitely see some crazy scenarios where, like, a bunch of players just note lock this ending.
Yeah, maybe some of the patterns might be tripping up, like, the flow of the stream just a little bit in some places. But overall, it's a stream map.
Yeah, I think single mod might not be too bad, but I think Hidden Hard Rock, that ending is going to result in some kind of...
Jokes.
Yeah, it's going to result in some note locks for sure from Hidden Hard Rock players, I feel like.
Alright, here we go. Does the tiebreaker have Vocaloid vocals? It does. My soul. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay, this is done by Backfire 2022. But it didn't have 2022 notes on it. Missed opportunity there.
Wait, that could have been a really good opportunity.
Sorry, just had to point it out.
Quick, just edit the map to overmap spray apart.
No, you need to undermap. You need to take some map.
Undermap, but you know.
Alright, I hear the Vocaloid. I can already hear it. Yeah. Of course. So, the song itself is Bring It On. Featuring Kagamine Rin Len. The Six Styles Bootlegs remix. Composed by Giga. Mapped by Taiko Mizo. The difficulty name, I suspect it's a song reference. Inferiority and Superiority. Wait a minute, why do I see 727 in the background? Oh no.
Oh no.
See, I'm just glad that they didn't raise it like another 3 inches. If they raised another 3 inches, you'd be able to see it in the mini-map display. And then suddenly the map will be a lot more memorable to people.
You'll be just known as the 727 map.
Of course, of course. Has an OD of 4 minutes in length, so it's not the longest tiebreaker you've seen.
Yeah, that OD7 is going to be kind of interesting, though, as it's kind of, it's
okay,
quite long.
section.
Oh.
What sort of gimmick spike is this? I like it. Oh man, modded players are gonna be annoyed. But I think
if anyone tries to mod this map, yeah, that section's gonna be quite annoying for both mods.
oh, okay. Interesting. I actually kind of like this die-breaking map.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything in this so far, the looks of it. Aside from speed, there isn't too much speedy sections, really. Looks like it's mainly just tech and accuracy, with a little bit of gimmicks just thrown in there for good measure, but not like memorization gimmicks. Just some SV gimmicks.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Oh, stream section right here. These are some kind of lengthy streams.
All right. I think in the slow section of the song here, it's now a good time to advertise that the banners for Taiko World Cup 2022 has been released. Players and spectators alike, feel free to check out some of the banners. I know they are quite interesting. You know, a lot of people love to show their support for their favorite countries, whether it be because of the players or because of the skill, or both. Feel free to check it out in the stream chat below.
Yeah, it helps out it just helps out TWC be able to provide an even better prize pool and stuff. And just be able to show your rep for all the teams playing, and also to whichever team wins. Definitely not Japan. Cough. Definitely not Japan. Whichever country that you choose, if they end up winning, they will. You'll keep the banner until next TWC. So I guess that's a cool thing.
Yay!
Yeah, I get to show my support for Japan for a year.
Alright, and there we go. That's going to be it. Picking up a couple 100 towards the end here. And that's going to be it for the round of 16 showcase. Definitely a step up for the round of 32. I suspect that the lower seed teams might find some difficulties on a couple of the maps, but you gotta put the pressure on the players somehow, and making harder maps is a way to do it. So
yeah, this is quite the step up from round of 32. There will definitely be a lot less SS battles in this stage.
yes, sorry. We needed them after we had no mod 1-3 basically being act battle, so I'm not.
Yeah.
This is a welcome step up, and I think a lot of people will come to that same conclusion. And yeah, I just can't wait to see how the players manage to prepare and execute their preparation come the weekend. The schedules and stuff will be coming up very soon, so it should be okay. Do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, not really too much else. That'll be end for TWC for this weekend. Make sure to leave a follow and stuff so you can stay tuned for the next weekend's matches. We'll have plenty of fun matches to watch.
And yeah, that's going to be it. I am vv1431767648, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next weekend as the Taiko World Cup 2022 continues.